I am literally breathless. Like, I am physically shaking right now.
Deep breaths. Just take a breath.
I can't. There is an absolute breakdown of the reality TV contract happening as we speak. I am talking restraining orders flying left and right.
Oh, it is a complete legal heat wave.
People being shoved into literal fire pits, cast members getting arrested for throwing luxury boutique candles, and, oh my gosh, someone accusing a Real Housewife of controlling the United States Secret Service?
Honestly, it's officially a level 10 gossip emergency. The line between produced drama and real-world felony charges has completely vanished.
It's gone. The internet is in unadulterated chaos today. Paves, welcome back. We love you. We see you. And babes, clock out, grab a drink, and let's catch up because today's been a day.
Seriously, Snark Squad, pull up a chair. I know you are currently surviving on nothing but sheer willpower, just like we are.
Barely surviving.
We've got these massive iced strawberry lemonades, and if you hear ice clinking, mind your business. Because hydration is literally the only thing keeping us tethered to this mortal coil right now.
We just got off our shifts at our respective dental clinics, and let me tell you, the afternoon slump was so real, but we made it.
Barely.
We are here. I had the iced strawberry lemonade on deck. Did you use fresh strawberries in yours today, or did you cheat?
Obviously fresh. Muddled to perfection.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the only way to wash down the absolute absurdity of the general public.
It really is. Okay, we need to do our workday catch-up, but we have to keep it snappy because we have a literal mountain of legal documents to parse through later.
A mountain. So, highs and lows go.
Okay, my day was a highly stressful independent indie film. The best part of my day, honestly, was this one pediatric patient who brought me a hand-drawn picture. It was a tooth wearing a superhero cape.
Stop. That is too cute.
It was adorable. It's already on the break room fridge. But the most chaotic moment, oh my gosh. Patient in chair 3, I am in the middle of a full crown prep.
Uh-oh. I know where this is going.
I literally have the high-speed drill active in my hand. The suction is going. Her mouth is propped wide open with cotton rolls everywhere. And she decides this exact second is when she needs to tell me the deeply intricate, multi-generational lore of her neighborhood homeowners association.
No. While the drill is audibly whining.
Yes. Her hands are up near her mouth, waving around, gesturing wildly about her neighbor Susan's illegal vinyl fence height.
But that is terrifying.
She's going, "There are black Susan's rhododendrons bar." And I am matrix dodging her hands with sharp dental instruments. I'm trying to calmly say, "Open, please. Swallow, please. Susan's fence can wait."
It is a genuine psychological phenomenon. Like, people lose all sense of spatial awareness and self-preservation the second that paper bib goes around their neck.
It truly is. I was sweating through my scrubs. What about your clinic? Highs and lows?
Well, the funniest patient interaction easily goes to a guy who came in for routine cleaning. He put on his heavy-duty noise-canceling headphones, closed his eyes, and legitimately fell into a deep REM sleep within 4 minutes.
Wait, like actually asleep?
I am talking heavy, rhythmic snoring while the hygienist was actively scaling his molars.
Oh my gosh.
We had to gently shake his shoulder to wake him up to rinse. He woke up, looked around completely disoriented, and mumbled, "Is the movie over?"
Stop. He thought he was at an AMC theater.
Completely lost in the sauce. He had no idea where he was. But the one thing that actually made me smile before leaving work, finally hitting that punch clock,
The best feeling.
hearing that little electronic beep when I clocked out, it was music to my ears because I knew I was coming right here to the Snark side to talk to you, our favorite listener.
Yes. Which actually brings us to some bittersweet news for the Snark Squad. Everyone take a deep breath.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. But after today's show, we are officially taking a 10-day hiatus.
I can hear the gasp through the microphone right now.
I know. Stay with us, Snark Squad. We promise we'll be back. I am genuinely going to miss hanging out with you so much. It feels weird to even think about not talking to you every single day.
It feels wrong.
We are going to try to post on social media if we can, but we honestly might not be able to get a signal out where we're going.
Yeah, our phones might literally be out of service territory.
Exactly. We will explain absolutely everything the second we return because it is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience that we are doing. We just want to say a massive thank you for making this community feel like a real friendship instead of just, a broadcaster to listener dynamic. You are our bestie.
We love you. And frankly, this hiatus is timed perfectly because if this eastern heat wave didn't break, I was going to have to relocate my entire existence to a research station in Antarctica.
Let's take a moment of solemn silence for the fact that this heat wave finally seems to be ending. Because, babes, we barely survived.
Barely is a generous overstatement. I was a puddle. The second you walk outside, it's like walking into a preheated convection oven.
A literal oven.
You instantly question every single life decision that led you to leave the safety of the indoors. Like, why did I agree to go to the grocery store? I don't need solid food. I can photosynthesize.
I was absolutely spiraling. You step onto the pavement, and you can literally feel the rubber soles of your sneakers getting soft, like adhering to the asphalt.
Disgusting.
I have been sleeping with the air conditioner working so heavily overtime that I am genuinely afraid it's going to file a union grievance against me. It was rattling. It was fighting for its mechanical life.
Oh, I've been clutching my ice water like it's a literal lifeline, just walking from the car to the clinic door, hugging my insulated bottle to my chest to artificially lower my core body temperature.
I found myself sitting on my couch, staring blankly at the wall, genuinely pondering how Victorian-era people survived summers before modern technology.
Honestly, how did they?
Like they were wearing 18 layers of wool and starched petticoats. How did they not spontaneously combust in July?
They probably just laid completely motionless on the floor of their parlors and hoped for a cross breeze. We need to give some serious, genuine shout-outs to the real MVPs of this week. Air conditioning, obviously, doing the Lord's work.
Crazy.
Ceiling fans. Insulated water bottles that keep the ice clinking for a full 24 hours. Cold showers.
That's, of course, the absolute holy grail, the one piece of machinery that single-handedly carried us through this climatic nightmare. The Ninja slush machine.
We bow down to the engineering team at Ninja, truly.
We joke that the Ninja slush machine practically got us through the heat wave, but honestly, it's not a joke. It's a documented medical fact at this point. And yet, Ninja still refuses to slide into our DMs and sponsor the podcast.
The sheer disrespect. Do they know how much free, highly targeted demographic advertising we do for them?
I am looking directly into the metaphorical camera right now. Ninja, call us. I want to debate how many frozen drinks we've made lately. I think between the two of us, we've easily processed 40 separate batches of slush this week alone.
At least 40.
Strawberry lemonades, frozen margaritas, iced coffees. We're keeping your brand alive in the dental community. We love you. Sponsor the podcast.
It's a loving plea. Have your people call our people. Which is us. Just DM us directly.
But babes, enough about surviving the weather. The internet has been working overtime today, and we've got a whole lot of gossip to get through.
We truly do. And honestly, it flows seamlessly from the literal heat wave into the legal heat wave that is currently sweeping the entire reality TV landscape over the last 24 hours.
It is wild.
What we are witnessing today is the absolute breakdown of the reality TV contract. The era of manufactured, easily resolvable on-camera drama is completely over. We are now in an era where these people are facing severe, real-world legal consequences for their behavior.
Exactly. And we need to start with Vanderpump Rules because the Tom Sandoval and Victoria Lee Robinson fallout is getting incredibly dark, incredibly fast.
Let's lay out the legal reality of what's happening here. So Victoria filed a temporary restraining order, or a TRO, against Tom. On July 6th, a judge officially denied that request.
But we have to remember the broader context here, because Tom already has an active restraining order against Victoria and her father, Will Robinson. And that stems from that absolutely wild June 3rd fire pit incident.
Right. Okay, let's unpack this for the Snark Squad, because the details really matter. The June 3rd incident was the one where Tom allegedly pushed Will, Victoria's dad, into a literal fire pit because Victoria was recording Tom on her cell phone.
Which is insane. Tom got enraged about being filmed, reached for the phone, Will intervened and reached for Tom, and Will ended up inside the fire pit. It sounds like a deranged game of Clue, like it was Sandoval in the backyard with the fire pit.
Exactly. And to understand why Victoria's new TRO was denied, we have to look at the legal mechanics of a temporary restraining order in the state of California.
Break it down for us.
For a judge to grant an ex parte TRO, which means granting it immediately without the other party present to defend themselves, there has to be an immediate demonstrable threat of irreparable harm. You essentially have to prove that if this judge doesn't sign this piece of paper today, you are in imminent physical danger.
And that explains so much about the denial when you look at the timeline of Victoria's specific claims. Because in this new filing, she is alleging a massive long-term pattern of abuse. But a lot of it is historical.
Right.
She claims that way back in August 2025, Tom pushed her down a flight of hardwood stairs, which severely injured her knees. Then she claims he elbowed her in the chest in May 2026. She also alleges he locked her out of a hotel room, completely ransacked her personal belongings, and subjected her to intense verbal abuse, calling her, like, stupid, dumb, and a coward.
And her ultimate goal with this filing was to get the judge to force Tom out of their shared home because her name is on the lease.
Yes, which is so messy.
That last detail is the crux of the issue. The judge likely looked at this and said, you are citing incidents from August 2025 and May 2026 to get an emergency eviction in July 2026.
It just doesn't work like that.
In family court, if the threat isn't immediate, judges are extremely hesitant to weaponize a TRO just to settle a housing dispute or break a lease. They will set it for a full evidentiary hearing instead, which, of course, gave Tom's public relations team the exact loophole they needed to spin the narrative.
Oh, his rep was insufferable. They immediately released a statement acting incredibly smug, saying it's no surprise the temporary restraining order was denied because the police supposedly reviewed all the video evidence from the night of the fire pit fight and cleared Tom.
But here is where my conspiracy theory brain fully activates, and I need you to walk down this investigative road with me.
I am ready. Let's go.
Let's examine the supposed video evidence. Tom's rep claims the video exonerates him, but multiple police reports and insider leaks have confirmed that the security camera conveniently failed to capture the actual end of the fire pit fight.
It just stopped.
It just miraculously glitched, or the recording abruptly stopped right at the exact second the physical push happened.
Wait, I have to push back on this conspiracy a little bit. Are we sure it was intentionally turned off? Because Ring cameras and motion sensor security systems glitch all the time. Sometimes the Wi-Fi drops or the motion tracker resets after a certain number of seconds. Is it possible it was just a genuinely terrible coincidence?
I hear you, but I don't buy it for a second. If you have a high-end, hardwired security system in a Beverly Hills-adjacent, multi-million-dollar home, it does not just decide to take a union break right when a physical altercation hits its climax.
That is a fair point.
These aren't $30 battery-operated webcams. I want to know who holds the administrative password to that local server, who has the ability to log in and truncate a video file.
Okay, that is such a good point, and it makes Victoria's dad's recent statement so much more intense. Will Robinson just broke his silence yesterday.
Finally.
He came out swinging and said, "I don't tell lies." And he explicitly claimed that the truth of what he knows would put Tom in prison many times over.
Which is an incredibly heavy accusation to throw around publicly if you don't have the receipts to back it up.
Exactly.
If Will Robinson is saying he has information that could put Tom in prison many times over, what is he holding on to? Is he bluffing for leverage in the civil suit, or does he have actual evidence? Because we have to remember the sociological dynamics at play in that house. Will lived with them.
Yes, the proximity is everything.
Tom was reportedly financially supporting both Victoria and her dad for over a year.
The power dynamics in that shared space must have been absolutely suffocating. When you combine total financial dependency with the ego of reality TV fame, you create a pressure cooker.
I'm a total pressure cooker.
Tom was essentially the sole provider, the landlord, and the primary source of their public relevance. That creates a dynamic where a narcissistic personality feels entitled to complete obedience. When Victoria started recording him, when she tried to take control of the narrative, that broke the fundamental rule of their toxic ecosystem.
It is a complete disaster.
Yep.
You have financial dependency, reality TV ego, security cameras that mysteriously stop recording, and now multiple dueling legal filings. It's so dark.
So dark. And speaking of reality TV arrests and flying objects, we have to move over to the East Coast because the Real Housewives of New Jersey is having its own legal meltdown.
We need to talk about Melania Giudice, because this perfectly illustrates what happens when children raised entirely within the reality TV bubble finally collide with the actual criminal justice system.
Yes. Okay, so Melania was arrested on May 14th in Montville Township. The official charges are simple assault and purposely causing or knowingly causing bodily injury during a domestic dispute.
Let's clarify the legal terminology here because it matters. In New Jersey, simple assault generally means attempting to cause or purposely, knowingly, or recklessly causing bodily injury to another. It's classified as a disorderly person's offense.
Okay.
But when it happens within a family or domestic structure, it falls under the umbrella of domestic violence statutes, which mandates a very specific police response. The police don't just show up and say, "Hey, calm down." If there are signs of injury or escalating violence, they are often required by protocol to make an arrest to separate the parties.
And the details of what actually happened are so unhinged. Apparently, Melania was acting erratically, and the dispute escalated to the point where she was literally throwing food and candles. Her own sister, Gabriella, had to be the one to dial 911 and call the cops on her.
I want you to pause and visualize the sheer chaos of this scene. You're inside the marble-clad Giudice mansion. Tensions are boiling over, and suddenly, heavy decorative candles. And knowing Teresa's aesthetic, we are talking about massive, three-wick, heavy glass, expensive boutique candles.
Oh, absolutely. Like the ones that cost $200.
Exactly. Those are becoming airborne projectiles right alongside a plate of last night's baked ziti.
It's terrifying. Getting hit by a heavy glass Campbell jar could cause serious blunt force trauma. But the aftermath is what truly fascinates me. The mugshot leaks to the press. And how does Melania handle this massive legal crisis?
Oh, I know.
She gets on TikTok to do damage control. It is the most profoundly Gen Z response to getting arrested I have ever seen in my life.
Her TikTok defense was a masterclass in cognitive dissonance. First, she comes on camera looking dead serious and phonily declares that the viral mugshot everyone is passing around on Twitter is completely fake. She says, "If you guys really believe that, that's AI."
Yes. She blames artificial intelligence. She claims someone prompted Midjourney to generate a fake mugshot of her. But then, in the exact same breath, not even 10 seconds later in the same continuous video, she pivots and says, "I ate down in my mugshot, I look fire."
I had to rewind the video 3 times to make sure I wasn't having an auditory hallucination. Which is it, Melania? Is it a highly sophisticated deepfake generated by a computer network to frame you for a crime? Or did you just serve absolute face while being booked and fingerprinted for simple assault?
I mean, you can't have it both ways.
You cannot claim it is a digital fabrication and then simultaneously demand public credit for your impeccable bone structure and lip gloss application in the photo.
She actually said, nothing to be proud of, but it is what it is. It's a direct quote. "I cannot deal with the mental gymnastics." But honestly, what has me truly fascinated from a sociological standpoint is the family dynamic that is emerging from this crisis.
It is wild.
Melania just posted another TikTok video where she is hanging out, laughing, and doing trends with her cousin, Antonia Gorga. And Melissa Gorga actually reposted it to her own Instagram story.
Now that is the plot twist of the century. The adults have been locked in a blood feud for a decade, and the kids are just making TikToks.
Are Teresa and Melissa's children healing this massive generational family rift through shared trauma? Think about it. Melania is going through this incredibly public, embarrassing legal scandal. The adult generation, Teresa, Joe, Melissa, are completely fractured. They don't speak.
At all.
But the cousins are hanging out on the 4th of July, complimenting each other's outfits, and Melissa's publicly supporting it by reposting it. It feels like the next generation is collectively looking at their parents and saying, "We are officially opting out of your toxic, produced reality TV blood feud."
It is genuinely the only silver lining in this whole disastrous mess. Let the cousins bond. Let them break the cycle of generational reality TV trauma. Just keep them out of throwing distance of the airborne candles.
Totally.
And just to quickly put a bow on this terrible 24-hour cycle of Bravo legal troubles, we should note that former RHOBH star Anne-Marie Wiley's husband, Marcellus Wiley, was also arrested for alleged domestic battery over the July 4th weekend.
It's just a really dark week for the Bravo sphere legally. It feels like the protective bubble has completely burst. Everyone is getting arrested.
Which is exactly why we need to transition our focus from literal criminal arrests to people who should be arrested solely for their atrocious, deeply audacious behavior in shared summer houses. The theme of forced scarcity and psychological warfare in shared environments is running rampant right now.
Yes. Let's get into the Bravo cinematic universe, specifically the absolute mess that is the Summer House franchise. Because the level of entitlement I am seeing on my screen is giving me full-body hives. Let's talk about In the City, the new Summer House spinoff.
The room drama. The eternal, never-ending reality TV trope of grown, wealthy adults reverting to toddlers fighting over bedrooms. It is a fascinating study in displaced hierarchical anxiety.
Displaced hierarchical anxiety.
Yeah.
I love when you use the big terms. Okay, let me set the scene for you. The situation is that Lindsay Hubbard and Kenny Martin are fighting over the primary bedroom in the shared vacation house.
Over a bed.
Yes. Kenny, who is actually trying to be a decent human being with basic manners, wanted to give the primary room to the newlyweds, Yvonne and Nick, which is normal. That is standard vacation etiquette. You give the biggest bed to the people who just got married.
Exactly. It's common courtesy.
But Lindsay and Georgina firstly swoop in and completely commandeer the primary room for themselves.
And we have to analyze their justification because it is wild. Their primary defense for taking the room was that they found the house, which, let's be real, production found the house. You just signed the waiver. And their secondary argument was that they are two moms who haven't been away from their kids in a while.
I was screaming at the television. The two moms' defense.
Let's break down why this is such a fascinating sociological defense. Yes, being a mother is exhausting. Yes, motherhood carries a massive mental and physical load, and mothers absolutely deserve a break. However, you are on a fully funded reality television cast trip.
You're getting paid to be there.
You are not at a private meditative wellness retreat in Sedona. You do not get to unilaterally pull rank over a newlywed couple on a celebratory vacation just because you have successfully procreated. It is using motherhood as a weapon to assert dominance in a manufactured social hierarchy.
Exactly. It's using the concept of maternal fatigue as a trump card to avoid basic social grace. And the fallout from this on social media was honestly even better than the episode itself, because Lindsay lost complete control of the narrative.
She really did.
A massive Bravo fan account, Queens of Bravo, posted a clip praising Kenny for being sweet and offering the room to the newlyweds. Lindsay actually goes into the comment section of this fan account to fight with the admin.
A fatal error in the modern reality TV landscape.
She comments, pointing out that Kenny and his girlfriend Whitney Franzway already had the biggest room in the house with an ensuite bathroom. And she typed, "If Kenny was so generous, why didn't he offer his room?"
You never, ever pick a fight with a dedicated Bravo fan account admin. They don't just watch the show, they archive the footage. They have the receipts queued up on a dual monitor setup.
They are professional archivists.
The fan account admin clapped back instantly, correcting her narrative, pointing out that the raw video evidence clearly shows Kenny explicitly offering them first pick of the rooms, including his own. But then the admin goes for the absolute kill shot.
The kill shot, tell them.
The fan account adds, "I'm just describing what I saw in the video and advertising your show that just reached another series low in the overnight ratings."
Oh my God, I gasped out loud. A series low in the overnight ratings.
Yeah.
I had to put my phone down, walk around my kitchen island twice, and drink a glass of water. It was lethal.
I am 100% siding with the fan account here. The utter audacity of Lindsay fighting with an Instagram account that is actively trying to organically promote her dying television show, only for them to publicly roast her Nielsen ratings in front of her entire fan base.
It's just so embarrassing.
It's beautiful. It's poetry. It shows how the power dynamic between reality stars and the audience is completely inverted. The stars used to dictate the narrative. Now the fan accounts hold the power.
It's exactly what she deserves for that level of entitlement, and there's even more summer house chaos bubbling up. Lindsay Hubbard is detailing her split from Turner Couffet, and she literally broke the fourth wall in a major fight with Danielle Oliveira, which is a huge deal because production hates when they acknowledge they are on a show.
They despise it.
But the rumor that actually has me hyperventilating into a paper bag right now, Wes Wilson is facing a brand new allegation of cheating on Amanda Batula.
The timeline on this is incredibly messy, and it speaks to the fundamentally broken ecosystem of that house.
But wait, how is this even happening? Amanda and Kyle's marriage is already on thin ice constantly. Are West and Amanda actually hooking up, or is this just a manufactured rumor to cover for Kyle's behavior? I can't keep the alliances straight.
It's a web of lies.
And to make it worse, Mia Calabrese just went on a podcast and revealed that Amanda completely ignored every single one of her text messages after filming Wrapped.
This is what happens when you force a group of people who fundamentally do not trust each other into close quarters with unlimited alcohol and the looming pressure of contract renewals. The ecosystem becomes completely toxic.
Toxic is the only word for it.
The fact that Amanda is ignoring Mia's texts just shows that the off-camera alliances are shifting once again. It's a constant, exhausting game of musical chairs with these friendships. They only pretend to like each other when the red light on the camera is on.
It is exhausting to watch, let alone live. But you know what's more exhausting? The drama over on the Valley Persian Style, the new Shahs of Sunset spin-off. Because the Persian crew does not play by Bravo's rules, they play by their own, much more vicious rules.
They go for the jugular.
Season 2 is currently taping, and the drama is already exploding off the screen and into the real world.
Exploding is the only accurate word. Let's break down the social media warfare first, because it sets the stage. Gigi Garachidagi, our eternally chaotic queen, publicly demanded that Reza Farahàn untag her from a cast promo photo he posted on his grid. She and Adam Neely are absolutely furious with him.
Let's talk about untagging for a second. In 2026, untagging yourself from a coworker's Instagram photo is the modern-day equivalent of slapping someone across the face with a white leather glove.
It really is.
It is a formal, public declaration of war. But the real, terrifying drama happened on camera. MJ's estranged husband, Tommy Fate, literally crashed a filming event.
And we need to analyze the exact logistics of this crash.
Okay, so the cast was officially filming a scene at a sports bar in Los Angeles, watching a USA World Cup game. It's incredibly loud, it's crowded with extras, the vibes are supposedly good. And Tommy, who's going through a brutal divorce with MJ, just happens to walk right through the front door.
And Reza and his husband Adam immediately, without saying a single word to the group, stand up, storm out of the restaurant, and refuse to return to film the rest of the scene.
We have to remind you, Snark Squad, of the deeply dark, traumatic context here. You cannot understand Reza's extreme flight response without the history. Back in 2019, Tommy got so enraged at Reza that he drove to Reza's house, hopped the fence, and completely destroyed his property, smashing his potted plants and vandalizing his patio.
Absolute destruction.
Reza had to get a 3-year restraining order against Tommy. And why was Tommy so violently angry? Because Reza went on social media and made horrific, vile, unforgivable comments about MJ's past medical history and abortions, while MJ was literally lying in a hospital ICU, fighting for her life after giving birth.
It was arguably one of the darkest, most crossing-the-line moments in Bravo history. So fast forward to today. They're filming a brand new spinoff. MJ and Tommy are getting a divorce. Tommy has barely filmed in years and wanted absolutely nothing to do with Reza. And suddenly, on a random Tuesday, he just happens to stroll into the exact sports bar in the massive, sprawling metropolis of Los Angeles where a full Bravo camera crew is set up.
So you think it was a setup? You think production orchestrated this?
I don't just think it, I know it in my bones. I suggest production 100% tip Tommy off to their exact location and call time for a ratings bump. Producers looked at the dismal overnight ratings for In the City. They looked at their own dailies for The Valley, and they panicked.
They needed a moment.
They said, we need a viral moment. What better way to manufacture one than to orchestrate a surprise confrontation between two men with a literal, documented history of restraining orders and property damage?
Wait, I have to challenge you on that. Let's think about the legal liability. Wouldn't tipping off someone with a documented history of violence and a past restraining order be a massive liability risk for Bravo's legal department? How do they even ensure that set? If Tommy had actually swung on Reza, Reza could sue NBC Universal for millions for failing to provide a safe workplace.
That is the multi-million-dollar question. How do they ensure it? My theory is that the original restraining order expired, so technically, on paper, there is no legal barrier preventing them from being in the same room.
That is so sneaky.
Production operates in those gray areas. They rely on the fact that these cast members are desperate for the paycheck, so they won't actually sue the network. They push them right to the edge of violence, hoping security can intervene just in time to get the usable footage without catching a lawsuit.
That is so deeply cynical and dark, but honestly, looking at how the sausage is made, you were probably right. The producers are ruthless. Also on The Valley, we have to talk about Nia Sanchez. She was Miss USA Nevada back in 2014, and she just revealed a really disturbing story from her pageant past that speaks volumes about power dynamics.
Yes, and we are going to look at this purely from a sociological lens of power imbalances in the workplace. Nia stated that when Donald Trump owned the Miss USA organization, he brought all of his golf buddies to come watch the contestants rehearse.
Nia said it was an incredibly creepy environment. She explained that they were in the middle of stage rehearsals, often in swimwear or performance gear. And all these older men, who were not part of the production crew, were brought in to watch them perform and then asked to take photos with the women.
It's so gross.
Nia said she very intentionally removed one of the men's hands from her body and explicitly told him, "Don't ever put your hands on me without asking."
The psychology of setting that boundary in that specific environment is remarkable. Pageantry is inherently a system built on a massive power imbalance. The contestants are hyper-aware that the people watching them hold the keys to their future success, scholarships, and career.
Exactly. They have all the power.
For a young woman to recognize inappropriate behavior in real time and vocally assert her bodily autonomy against a VIP guest requires immense fortitude.
Absolutely. And it so clearly connects to her current Deeply frustrating storyline on the Valley, doesn't it?
Yep.
She is constantly having to assert her needs and boundaries with men who simply refuse to respect them.
It's the exact same muscle she's having to flex now, just in a domestic setting rather than a professional one.
Yes. We are seeing her struggle so much right now with her husband, Darkside Danny Bucco. They just had their fourth child, baby Adelaide, and Danny is giving her zero help and zero emotional support.
He's basically useless.
He's speaking to her disrespectfully on camera, he's allegedly lying about his drinking habits, and Naya is having to carry the entire mental, emotional, and physical load of a newborn plus 3 other children, while her husband acts like a single frat boy on spring break.
It is genuinely exhausting to watch. Naya is clearly someone who knows how to spot inappropriate behavior and stand up for herself, as we just discussed with the pageant story. But it is so much harder to enforce those boundaries when the person disrespecting you is your own husband,
It's so different.
the father of your children, and you are in the middle of intense postpartum vulnerability. The power dynamic shifts from professional to deeply personal, and the emotional toll is devastating.
It's heartbreaking. She deserves so much better. But babes, we need to cleanse our palate from the shiny produced Bravo mess and wade directly into the gritty, unfiltered, absolute dumpster fire of MTV and TLC. It is time to analyze the creator economy life cycle and the grifter mindset. We are entering the swamp.
Grab your heavy-duty hip waders because we are talking about Janelle Evans.
We absolutely hate her. That is the fundamental rule of this show. We do not support Janelle Evans. And today, we are talking about the ultimate Janelle takedown, courtesy of TikTok star Gabby Egan.
The setup here is incredible, and it requires a quick history lesson. Gabby and Janelle have this incredibly messy, toxic, off-and-on friendship. Gabby actually supported Janelle through her recent, highly publicized split from the swamp monster himself, David Eason.
Which was huge news.
Gabby even flew out to attend Janelle's incredibly cringe NYC divorce party on a boat. But then Janelle completely self-sabotaged. She abandoned her redemption arc, packed up, and ran right back to David in Florida despite having a literal active restraining order against him. When that happened, Gabby publicly called her out on TikTok for endangering her kids.
Which naturally led to them beefing online through passive-aggressive subtweets. So Gabby, being the absolute content mastermind that she is, goes on social media and publicly offers to fly Janelle out to her podcast, the Softy Podcast, to squash their beef face-to-face.
A brilliant move.
Gabby says, I have airline points and microphones. Let's put them all in the same room. She offered to pay for the flights, rent a professional studio, set everything up, and have a real unedited conversation instead of hiding behind a keyboard.
And wait, it gets better. Kayla Lowry jumped into the comment section and asked if she could come too.
The Avengers of Janelle's enemies assembling in one studio. It is a beautiful concept. So how does Janelle respond? With pure, unadulterated delusion. She declines the invite, tweets the hashtag #MeanGirlEnergy, and claims she won't do it because she makes more money on her own accounts. She literally typed, they don't have enough money to pay me.
Let's dissect the profound financial delusion of Janelle Evans for a second, because it perfectly illustrates the end-stage life cycle of a canceled reality star. She is claiming she's too expensive to book. Gabby immediately clapped back with the ultimate reality check.
Oh, she destroyed her.
Gabby pointed out, we don't pay guests at all. That's not how the guest economy works on standard interview shows. But then Gabby goes straight for the jugular. She reminds Janelle and the entire internet that just a few months ago, Janelle was practically begging Gabby to connect her with Gabby's management agency to help her secure bottom-barrel brand deals because Janelle was completely broke.
Yes, Gabby literally said, now you're trying to slander my sobriety and call me poor. Pay Elaine. It was an absolute bloodbath.
It reveals the psychological need of a disgraced public figure to constantly control the narrative. Janelle cannot handle an actual, unscripted confrontation where she can't edit out the parts that make her look bad. But amidst the snark, Gabby made a really poignant point.
What was it?
She noted that she actually felt sad because Janelle was genuinely in the middle of a massive redemption era. The public was ready to forgive her. People were actively rooting for her when she finally left David. She was getting support, positive engagement, and a path back to relevance. And she threw it all away to run back to a man who allegedly ruined her reputation, terrorized her children, and is universally despised by the general public.
It's infuriating. I was screaming at my phone. Janelle claims she has all this money and massive success, but she's hiding out in a rented house in Florida with David, pretending everything is totally fine while her entire life falls apart yet again.
It's pathetic.
It is sheer entertainment watching Gabby drag her with receipts, but it's also deeply, deeply pathetic on Janelle's end. The tragedy of the abandoned redemption arc.
She is terrified of receipts because receipts represent objective reality, and she lives in a manufactured delusion. And speaking of terrifying people who live in delusion within the teen mom universe, Farrah Abraham's mom, Deb's OG, just went on the record.
Oh, Deb's OG, the steampunk queen herself. What is she saying now?
She had a long-form interview where she ranked the various cast members of the Teen Mom franchise, and she explicitly stated that David Eason is the absolute worst person to ever appear on the network. She called him, and I quote, crazy as frock.
Wow.
Now, I need you to understand the gravity of that. When Deb's OG, a woman who once released a rap music video wearing a top hat and a corset, is looking at you and calling you crazy, you have reached a level of psychological instability that defies modern science.
It's the pot calling the kettle completely unhinged. Deb's also spilled some amazing behind-the-scenes tea about Amber Portwood during that interview. Do you remember that iconic, terrifying reunion show where Amber tried to literally swing on Farrah on stage?
A core traumatic memory of reality TV history.
Debs recounted that right before that on-stage fight happened, she was in the backstage bathroom touching up her makeup. Amber comes barging into the bathroom looking absolutely feral and demands, "Where's Farrah at?"
Oh, no.
Debs says she didn't know why Amber was asking, and Amber looks her dead in the eye, inches from her face, and says, "I'm gonna beat her ass." And then Amber marched right out of the bathroom onto the brightly lit sound stage and tried to do exactly that on national television.
Honestly, say what you want about Amber Portwood, but she is a woman of her word. She announced her violent itinerary directly to the mother of her intended harlot in a public restroom and then executed the plan flawlessly under studio lighting.
The absolute lack of impulse control is staggering. We have a couple of quick hits from the Grifter Files before we move on to our final segment. Let's talk about Taylor Frankie Paul. She is officially weaponizing the concept of rehab.
Let's be very clear and responsible about this topic. Rehabilitation facilities are vital, life-saving tools for people genuinely struggling with addiction or mental health crises. But Taylor did a remarkably short, convenient stay for what she vaguely called a mental health reset.
A reset.
And the timing is incredibly suspect from a legal standpoint, because her ex-husband, Tate Paul, immediately filed for a temporary restraining order against her, which was denied, and petitioned the court for sole physical custody of their kids.
It feels incredibly calculated. It feels like she knew legal action regarding custody was imminent, and her lawyer advised her to check herself into a facility quickly to look proactive for the family court judge.
It's a classic maneuver.
Look, Your Honor, I recognize a problem, and I went to a facility voluntarily. I'm cured. It's so manipulative of the family court system. And speaking of manipulation, we have to talk about Stephen McBee Jr., the star of the McBee dynasty. His ex-girlfriends are absolutely dragging him through the mud today, and it is a fascinating case study in coercive control.
Kayla Jackson and Allie Eklund have united in their shared trauma of dating this man. Kayla is out here citing literal PTSD from the relationship. She detailed living in an environment of constant eggshells.
I can't even imagine.
She said she had to remake the beds perfectly every single morning. If there was a single visible wrinkle in the duvet, he would completely lose his mind and berate her. She said she had to sneak snacks into her own home because he strictly monitored what she ate and criticized her body.
Sneaking snacks in your own home as a grown woman. And she said he constantly financially abused her by calling her a gold digger, even though she was actively working 3 jobs. She was enrolled in real estate school, filming a reality show full-time, and managing social media accounts on the side to make her own money.
And the isolation tactics were textbook. Allie Eklund backed up Kayla's claims. Allie revealed that Stephen started physically timing her phone calls with her friends and family after they had only been dating for 3 months. If she was on the phone too long, he would literally start a stopwatch and demand she hang up to pay attention to him.
That is deeply, deeply concerning behavior. That isn't just bad boyfriend material. That is systematic coercive control, isolation, and psychological manipulation.
It is the classic abuser playbook, but because he's wealthy and on television, it gets disguised as quirky, demanding alpha male reality TV behavior. It's insidious. But babes, we need to wrap up this massive recap with the most absurd, mathematically impossible legal defense of the entire day. The theme here is the absolute detachment from reality. Let's transition to the wildest excuses in Beverly Hills.
We're going back to Erica Jane, because the sheer delusion of this legal filing requires an entirely separate, deep analytical dives. Erica is currently asking a federal judge to completely dismiss an $18 million lawsuit that was filed against her back in 2023 by Chris Sala, a costume designer for the brand Marco Marco.
Let's lay out Chris's claim because it reads like a rejected fever dream script for a Jason Bourne movie. Chris is legally claiming that Erica Jane conspired with the United States Secret Service to frame him for $800,000 in fraudulent American Express credit card charges between 2015 and 2016. So crazy.
He alleges this massive federal conspiracy completely destroyed his business and his reputation.
I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. Look at this fight. Chris is alleging that Erica Jane, the woman who performs in latex cat suits and pats the puss on a stage in Las Vegas, picked up her rhinestone-encrusted flip phone, dialed 1-800 Secret Service, and said, "Hello, federal agents. Yes, it's Erica, the pretty mess.
The pretty mess is calling.
I need you to orchestrate a massive, coordinated federal frame-up job against a costume designer over my Amex bill."
The logistics alone are staggering. Let's explain how federal wire fraud and credit card investigations actually work. The Secret Service is a federal law enforcement agency. Yes, they handle financial crimes, but their primary mandate is protecting the President of the United States and investigating massive international counterfeit currency rings and cyber terrorism.
Right.
They do not have a special tactical task force dedicated to resolving Real Housewives American Express chargeback disputes. Exactly. If you have a fraudulent charge, you call the 1-800 number on the back of your card. You don't call the Department of Homeland Security. Erica's defense is just utter disbelief and denial. Her lawyer, Evan Borges, literally had to release a public statement to the press saying, and I quote, "The notion that Erica controlled the U.S. government is fantasy."
Imagine typing that.
Imagine being a high-powered, expensive attorney and having to sit at your mahogany desk and type that sentence on your official legal letterhead. "To whom it may concern, my client does not, in fact, run the shadow government of the United States."
It's just wild. Did Tom Girardi have deep political connections? Yes, absolutely. Did he have influence over local judges in the California State Bar? Obviously, that's well documented. But the idea that Erica was actively puppeteering federal agents to take down a guy making her stage outfits is a bridge too far, even for Bravo's wildest conspiracy theorists.
It's a bridge way too far.
I think the judge is going to laugh this $18 million suit right out of court based on lack of standing and sheer absurdity.
It is genuinely the most absurd thing I have read all week. And I read Janelle Evans's tweets for a living. Let's do a rapid-fire cleanup of the rest of the headlines before we sign off, because there are a few little nuggets we simply can't ignore today. First, over on RHOBH, a rare moment of actual unproblematic good news. Kyle Richards' daughter, Farrah Al-Jafri, is pregnant.
We love a Bravo baby. Honestly, we have to look at the timing. With Kyle and Mauricio's extremely messy, highly confusing separation playing out in the press right now, this family desperately needed a PR win. A distraction baby is exactly what the Richard Jumansky family dynamic ordered to shift the narrative away from the divorce rumors.
So true. It's the perfect pivot. Next, Big Brother 28 rumors are swirling heavily on the blogs, and the streets are saying the new cast will include at least one former Survivor player.
I love a reality TV cross-pollination. When you look at the game theory involved, putting Survivor players into the Big Brother house elevates the entire strategic level of the game. Put Siri Fields on every single competitive show on network television, I do not care. I will watch her manipulate a house full of 20-somethings any day of the week.
And finally, we have the ultimate lack of self-awareness. Kelly Dodd. She is currently on the internet publicly begging Bethany Frankel for help. Why? Because Kelly's Shop My Affiliate account got suspended for violating their terms of service, and she is loudly blaming the woke mob for her troubles and legitimately thinks Bethany can swoop in and save her affiliate links.
This is my absolute favorite microgenre of internet behavior, parasocial customer service. When exactly did Bethany Frankel become the customer service representative for the entire e-commerce internet?
Like she works for Shopify.
Does Kelly think Bethany has a glowing red rotary phone on her desk that connects directly to the CEO of ShopMe? Cancel the woke mob, Bethany. My commission links for Tunny Tea are down.
Kelly, babes, you said horrible things publicly. You violated the explicit terms of service you agreed to, and now you can't sell your little skinny teas or whatever garbage you're peddling. That's capitalism, not a conspiracy.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Bethany is busy eating king crab legs in the Hamptons and aggressively reviewing drugstore lip gloss on TikTok. She does not care about your suspended affiliate links.
The complete lack of self-awareness is stunning, but entirely on brand for Kelly Dodd's particular brand of victimhood.
And that, Snark Squad, brings us to the end of this absolutely massive, exhausting gossip recap. We need to remind you one last time before we go. We are officially taking a 10-day hiatus after this.
Do not panic. The Snark site is not going anywhere. We will be back.
We want to thank you profusely for always showing up, always listening, and always supporting this podcast. You are the best community on the internet, hands down. We promise we will be back soon with an insane amount of tea to spill about this once-in-a-lifetime experience we are going on.
But before we go, we have some listener homework for the Snark Squad. Drop into the comments or our DMs. We have 3 questions for you. Number 1, what is one modern convenience you absolutely could not live without? For us, it's clearly the Ninja slush machine, and we are still waiting on that sponsorship.
We are waiting, Ninja. Number 2, how did you survive this heat wave? Give us your best life hacks, because we are still deeply traumatized by the humidity. And number 3, which celebrity story shocked you the most today? Was it the fire pit push, the AI mugshot, or Erica Jane controlling the Secret Service? Let us know.
And please remind yourselves to subscribe to the show. Leave us a 5-star review. It helps us so much. And share the podcast with another gossip-loving babe in your life.
We love you so much. Have the best week, survive the rest of this heat, and stay out of trouble. Or don't, and we'll talk about you when we get back.
Exactly. Stay nosy, stay fabulous, and we'll see you on the Snark side.
Oh, and just a final provocative thought for you to mull over while we're gone. If reality TV contracts have strict morality clauses, at what point does a major network become legally and financially liable for continuously funding and employing cast members with active restraining orders and domestic battery charges? Where is the line between documenting a train wreck and funding a crime syndicate? Think about that while we're away. Bye, babes.